up, you guys? Welcome back to the Fumble Live. Thank you so much for checking in with us today. We're talking about the Suns versus Nuggets. And I have a big question about this one, and I feel like some fans are going to be upset about this. We're also talking about LeBron and his big jersey change and if there's more to it than just Space Jam. But before we dive in, make sure you subscribe to our channel, tap the bell for notifications, give this video a thumbs up, and leave a comment below. Here's the Fumble Squad. I'm Devin Howard. You can find me on Instagram as @DevinHoward.
What's up, everybody? I'm Jackie Ray. You can follow me on Instagram and Twitter @JRayTheFanatic. And it is Thursday. So some of you guys have been really turned up this week. So continue that energy in the chat because tomorrow is Fan or Foe Friday. And we are going to need all of your comments. Jeremiah, I know you're going to be trying to get that Fan of the Week again. So do your best, sir. Notice I said best, not worst. Best.
Try to remember some of the lessons that you've learned in anger management, Jeremiah, and apply that to your time in the chat today. Let's get some thoughtful, insightful things from you that don't have to do with Steph Curry and how much we supposedly hate him. That would be so cool.
Right.
Right? What a moment.
Me too. It would be, I would be so in awe of you. Just do that for us.
So, Jackie, before we dive into the news, how are you feeling today? What's going on in your world?
I'm feeling good. I'm chilling. I'm relaxing. Looking forward to the weekend because this is going to be the first. This is going to sound crazy, but Devin's already told you guys I'm a workaholic. This is going to be the first weekend in a good 6 months where I have no work to do on the weekend. Like, not one thing to do. Crazy.
Wow. I love that for you.
I know, right? Everybody in the chat's like, so it's the weekend. Y'all don't understand how my weekends go.
I know. I see. Sometimes I wake up on Monday morning and I open up our whole server system that we use, and I see that Jackie was like creating folders on a Sunday, and I was like, what is she doing? This girl needs to take a break. It's very healthy. Take some time off. You deserve it. I'm going to be taking a little break this weekend as well. I'm going down to San Diego to celebrate my birthday. I don't typically work as much on the weekends as Jackie does, but sometimes I do. Sometimes I'm, getting some stuff done, but I'm going to just try and chill out this whole weekend. That's exactly what I need, I think. I think we both need that.
Yeah, for sure. It's that time.
It's that time. Halfway through the year, we're kind of reaching the point where it's like, okay, we need a little bit of a break.
Yep.
Okay. Well, let's jump into the news. I want to break down what's going on with the Suns and the Nuggets. So the Suns took home the win last night. It was a 123-98 victory over the Nuggets in Game 2. So now they have a 2-0 lead in the second round series, and it marks the 5th straight victory for the Phoenix Suns. Chris Paul led the way with 17 points, 15 assists, and 0 turnovers. And just doing some reading about how he's feeling in this moment, he is really, really enjoying it. He is savoring it. He's embracing it. And I think I love that for him. I think that's really great. He's been a very important and pivotal member of that team. I feel like he really kind of transformed the Suns. And it's been great to see him use his veteran experience to kind of bring the team together. They were always kind of one step ahead on both ends of the court last night, and all 5 Suns starters scored in double figures, which is really, really great. And it posed a very stark contrast to what we were seeing with Denver. So on the other side, Nikola Jokic put up 24 points, but he really didn't have any help from the people around him. He was definitely the shining star last night, but I think the one thing that we can really take away is that the Nuggets are missing Jamal Murray. Like his absence was very, very felt last night. They were able to get by without him in the first round, which is great, but now it's obvious that they're struggling. They were simply just outplayed and outproduced by Phoenix's backcourt, and that was for the second straight game in a row. And then Aaron Gordon and Michael Porter Jr., they're not really doing much better. I'm pretty sure they only combined for 17 points last night, which is not what you want to see. Not what you want to see at all. And it seems like nobody's really stepping up to kind of take ownership of the role that Jamal Murray had, which is kind of that supportive role to Jokic. So nobody's really just taking in and seizing that opportunity there. So when he is out there, Jamal is the guy who can go out and get a bucket pretty much whenever he wants, especially when defense is kind of like focusing in on Jokic. And it was just last season that we saw him put up 2 50-point performances, which is very, very impressive. In the first round against Utah, he can score, and he was a definitely one of the mainstays of the team, and without him there, it's just obvious that there's something missing with the Nuggets, and they're kind of down bad without him. So I want to talk about what this means for the Suns, though, because we obviously can't argue with the fact that they're doing really well. They're kind of soaring through the first and second round of the playoffs here, but they beat the Lakers without AD and a fully healthy LeBron, and now they're beating the Nuggets without Jamal Murray. So they're going up against these teams that are a little bit depleted. People are asking, do they just have it easier now? Were they dealt an easy hand here because they're not having to go up against these fully healthy, super strong teams? And maybe that's the case. Leo, can we throw up some of the tweets in there? So this tweet says, no AD in the first round, no Jamal Murray in the second round. This season doesn't count. Am I doing it right, Suns fans and NBA Twitter? And then another tweet coming up here that says, how lucky are the Suns? They got to play the Lakers with an injured LeBron and no AD. Now they get to play a Nuggets team with no Murray. Yes, I would say they are very, very lucky, especially to not have to play against a fully healthy Lakers roster in the first round. This tweet says, the Suns are a good team, but they're also lucky. AD gets hurt and no Murray for Denver. Injuries suck, man. And then there was one more tweet. This one says, the Suns are dodging bullets. No Murray, no AD, hurt Michael Porter. We'll see what happens when they play a team who's full strength. It's a really interesting thing to consider here because I think the outcome would have been completely different in the first round had we had a fully healthy Lakers roster. So the fact that the Suns were able to advance to the second round is pretty wild. And now they're going up against this depleted Nuggets roster. So Jackie, what is your take on all of this?
So I don't disagree with anybody who says that the Suns are lucky, because that's just, I hate the word lucky though, because sometimes the stars just align for you that way. Chris Paul has been chasing this forever, and maybe the basketball gods just align the stars in his favor so he can actually have this deep run, which I know he's always wanted, and he quite frankly deserves. And he has definitely been the catalyst for the Suns getting over that hump and becoming relevant. So this might just be his time, and therefore the Suns' time. So, but let's just be honest about it. If we're not talking about an injured LeBron and a fully healthy AD, the situation is different. Do we know for sure what outcome of that is? No, we don't. But we do know that it's highly unlikely that it would have been the situation that we saw. It would have, even if it went 7 games, it would have definitely been more competitive. I don't like to play the he said, or the what ifs kind of thing, because we just don't know. Highly unlikely the Suns beat Denver by 25 points if Jamal Murray is in there. That's just something that's not going to happen. So, yes, injuries are working to the favor of the Suns and obviously not to the favor of the Nuggets or the Lakers. But injuries happen, and it should always be about next man up. You really don't get an opportunity. When the big guy goes out, when the star player goes out, that is your opportunity to shine, show your worth, prove your worth to not only that team, but even if you end up getting traded, people are going to, talk about that time you actually stepped up. For the Lakers, nobody stepped up. There was at least 2 nights that I remember off the top of my head that LeBron was the only starter in double digits. That's ridiculous. Last night, Joker was the only starter I think Michael Porter had 11, but he's, struggling with that back injury. So for him to even have to work hard to get those double digits because no one else is stepping up and they know he's got this back injury is tough. And it's just unfortunate that Denver and the Lakers are in a position where there's nobody on the roster who can take up the slack when an AD is out or when a LeBron is hurt. There's no one on the team that can do that. There's no one on the Suns or on Denver. And that's crazy because you're really talking about one guy. Now, you would think that together, collectively, they could kind of overcome this. But then again, we see how important one guy is to a team, and I it is a team sport. I don't think that one guy carries an entire team, but LeBron carried, the Cavs forever. Jamal Murray, we see now that he is pivotal. We knew he was pivotal, but I think we just kind of forgot how pivotal he was because Joker's been out there doing it. But guys can't do that forever, especially when that's not their role. You know what I mean? So we just kind of see it is what it is. And I'm not going to be one of those, low key, weird, slightly moronic fans that say if they go all the way, it doesn't count because of the injuries, or the same people that say the stupid stuff about a Mickey Mouse ring. Because the fact of the matter is every guy in the league is dope to some extent. And I just don't want to take away from Chris Paul's moment, because like I said, he has worked so hard to get to this moment, and he sacrificed so much to get to this moment. I'm not going to take away that man's glory, injuries or not. Like I said, if this is the basketball gods lining things up in his favor, then so be it. But this man deserves all the accolades. Like he said, they're working hard to try to keep that home court advantage. He's going out there. He had no turnovers. He's being very pivotal. This man is working his butt off. So I don't care who's injured. I'm not about to take no credit away from the Suns, because what they're doing out here, they have worked hard for it. Let's not forget that they worked really, really hard for this moment.
They did work very hard for this moment. And I am also not one of those types of people that's going to say this doesn't count. But I think it's worth acknowledging that they kind of received a stroke of luck, honestly.
For sure.
Looking even just at that first round, to go up against the Lakers as they were, with the health of that roster, looking the way it did, that was a stroke of luck for them. But that's not to take away from what the Suns have been able to accomplish throughout the regular season and what they're doing now in the postseason. Zen Master in the chat said, Suns got the sixth man making plays. They're good. They didn't finish 2 in the West for nothing. And that's absolutely right. That's super accurate. Another person, Dennis Davis, said, the Suns aren't lucky. They pounced on the fledgling Lakers. The Lakers were a sitting duck because they out all their chips on AD. Jackie, what do you have to say about that one?
I've told y'all several times that my biggest disappointment in this whole Lakers situation is Dennis Schroeder. For him to pass up that 4-year, $84 million contract, he did so because he felt that he was deserving of more money. And if you think you're deserving of more money, you need to prove that you're deserving of more money. He's proven that he don't deserve the contract. Look, Lakers low-key dodged a bullet on paying that man that money, because he ain't worth it. So he was one of my biggest disappointments. So I do agree. Kyle Kuzma is another one. Kyle Kuzma has said over and over again, thankfully I didn't hear him say these stupid words out his mouth this season, but he said over and over again, if he was on another team, he would be a number one. We ain't seen him act like a number one, never, not once. So, he's never stepped up. Guys who think this highly of themselves, when they have these moments when an AD is out, that's your time to prove who you are. And nobody did. So, I have to low-key agree with that, because nobody capitalized on the opportunity, because how dope would that have been? Like Kyle Kuzma stepping in, doing it. Like, how dope would that have been for Kyle Kuzma, not only as the Laker, but as far as his career? This man has been on the trading block every year since he's been in the league. Show that that's not supposed to be a thing, sir. Show that one time. And he didn't. So I have to agree with that.
It always is funny to me when we hear, I feel like it's been a while since we've heard Kuz say something like that about being the number one on any other team. So it's like, how can you really say that when you look at your performance each season? Like, no, it's not accurate. And
right.
We always appreciate confidence, and we actually do appreciate a little bit of arrogance out of players here and in the NBA. And with Kuz, it's just kind of like, it's such a reach that it's just embarrassing. Like, be confident, go into each game like you're, like you want to be the number one guy, but don't say it out loud because you're not there yet. It's embarrassing. speaking of a number one guy, let's talk about LeBron James, though. I'm switching gears because we need to discuss this jersey change. So he'll be changing from number 23 to number 6 on his uniform next season, but he's not planning on passing down that number 23 number to Anthony Davis as he intended to a couple of years ago. So he first wore the number 6 jersey for Team USA, and then he later wore it when he played for the Miami Heat because they had already retired the number 23 jersey in honor of Michael Jordan. So he did say that when he selected the number 23 jersey before, he was influenced by Michael Jordan, but he also said that he was influenced by greats like Bill Russell when he chose the number 6 jersey as well. He's going to be wearing the number 6 jersey in Space Jam, which is due to come out pretty soon here. We have been talking about Space Jam. It feels like years we've been discussing this movie and its production. Mm-hmm. It probably has been years. So the narrative here is that LeBron is switching to the number 6 jersey mostly or like solely because of Space Jam, because that's the number that he's going to wear, and it's kind of all part of this whole, plan to really embrace that Space Jam movie that's coming out and his involvement in it. But others think that he maybe is trying to tap into the Miami LeBron mindset where he won 2 championships, and we all know that he was hoping to have a repeat championship this season with the Lakers. That obviously did not happen, but he still is super motivated to make that happen next year. And maybe getting into the Miami mindset is what he needs to do. He needs kind of like that energy refresh. Either way, there's been a lot changing for LeBron. This was his first round exit in his entire career. Now he's doing this jersey change. And then he posted that message about vengeance on his Instagram that Jackie talked about a couple of days ago. So there's things going. Things are cooking right now. What is your take on this, Jackie? Do you feel like the number change has more to do with his mindset than Space Jam?
I mean, only LeBron knows that, but I have to tell you, like, I've always liked the number 6 better than 23, just because I know LeBron, he, like a lot of guys in that era, including Kobe, kind of looked up to Michael Jordan. Y'all know how I feel about Michael Jordan. So when he switched to number 6, I was like, yes, let's just leave that whole Jordan thing behind. But now, there's some people in the league who look to 23 because now they look up to LeBron. So it's always going to be that number that just stays with us. But I will say this. When LeBron went to Miami, that was a pissed off, angry, fed up, tired, about to go out there and prove everything LeBron James. So that's what number 6 has always represented to me. And that is why I've always liked the number 6, because that was the time when he was like, you know what, I'm going to go out here, I'm going to do my thing, and I'm going to get these rings. So if he's also looking at it as a Bill Russell thing, Bill Russell had more rings than Jordan. You know what I mean? So it's like however you're going to look at it, that's fine. I do think for marketing, especially when you're trying to tap into a new generation of Space Jam, because the old Space Jam, a lot of kids, some of y'all in the chat never even probably saw the old Space Jam. So when you're really trying to build up this new Space Jam, I think that's dope. If you guys don't know, one of my favorite movies in the world is Jumanji, the very, very first one. And I was so terrified when they came out with this new one because I was like, it's going to be trash. It's not going to be anything but it was totally different. So they did everything different. And it looks like they're trying to, even the way the cartoon characters in the trailer are interacting with LeBron, it's totally different. So it's a whole different thing. So I think if you really want to set that Space Jam legacy, it does make sense for you to go to the number 6 now, because it just brings everything together visually for you to have number 6 in the movie and then you to have number 6 on the court as well. I like that. We're going to get into something in the post-up that might equate to it as well, because that's another thing I've always wondered. Where is LeBron going to retire from? He is the kid from Akron, so I do see him playing like even one game in Cleveland and retiring his jersey there in Cleveland. Or is this speaking to where he might want to retire? There's a lot of questions that you can put around this specific number. Does it speak just to the movie? Does it speak to his mood? Is he angry Miami LeBron? Or is he looking to the future and he knows that Father Time is undefeated, and he's going to have to think about retirement soon, and he wants everything to line up on where he's thinking about retirement. There's a lot of question marks you can put on this number. Ultimately, I think the Space Jam thing makes the Space Jam and the angry LeBron mood makes the most sense, but it's going to be interesting to see where he actually retires his jersey. I still think it's Cleveland, but he's definitely not retiring in LA. You don't know nothing about LeBron if you think he's retiring. He's career, his last game might be here, but he gonna walk into Cleveland and say, thank y'all, I'm still the kid from Akron, and they gonna hang his jersey. Come on, guy. You new here? Stop. You act like you just met LeBron.
Well, my next question, Jackie, to you, and you already kind of answered it, but I just want to get your reaction to this because there were people on Twitter who were saying he's doing the jersey switch because he wants to get 2 jerseys retired with the Lakers, which even if he did intend to retire with the Lakers, it would never, to me, it seems so stupid to think that he would try to get 2 jerseys retired there. So what is your reaction to that?
I think that's just dumb. I think that's just, there's not a lot to say to that. That's just literally people who probably have just tapped into who LeBron is as a person when he came to LA. They just don't know anything about him. So they're just speaking out the side of their neck, just all willy nilly. That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. So that there's no merit to that at all. These are brand new LeBron fans. That's all that is.
I think it's more LeBron haters because that feels like a little bit, I don't like that. So I think when I was looking into this story yesterday, we brought it together really, really quickly once the news came out, and I took about 15 minutes to actually write something, and then it was up within 30 minutes or 40 minutes, which was very impressive. Great work, Fumble team, for getting that all together. But the one thing that I do want to say about that is that when I was looking at this and reading about this, I sort of felt like if I were to choose one motivation for LeBron to do this jersey change, it's the Miami mindset over Space Jam. And I feel like it's interesting, right? Yeah, because he's been advertising Space Jam so much. We know it's coming out. We've seen the promotional materials. We've seen the marketing images. After his first round exit, he talked about how he was focusing on Space Jam in the off season, and he's going to be playing with the Toon Squad or whatever he said in that moment. So we know he's been really kind of doubling down hard on that. I don't think making a real world jersey switch, a reality jersey switch, is to kind of support this movie that's coming out. I think it's just nice that it even helps that, that it is going to be kind of reminding people to go out and watch it. But I think the Miami mindset is definitely what's motivating him here, and I am all for it. If that's what he needs to do to kind of re-energize his mind and get his head back in the game and gear up for next season, I support it 100%. I think that's super, super awesome. Well, that wraps up Need to Know News. So let's get into the post-up. We've got some good stuff for you here.
Yeah, we're going to circle back to this LeBron thing a lot in this post-up. So just get ready because, as you know, if LeBron sticks to this, the last LeBron jersey happened against Devin Booker and company. And guess who he gave it to? This is by design, guys. LeBron in this moment in time knew that he was going to change his number, and he intentionally gave this to Devin Booker. And that just makes this so much more relevant because LeBron is that guy. He's going to acknowledge talent. He's going to lift people up, even though y'all tear LeBron down like y'all are just little people. But LeBron's not like that, and he definitely gave this to Devin Booker for a reason. So I love that Devin Booker not only has the last jersey that LeBron played in, it's signed, and it says, keep elevating and all that. This is beautiful. Devin Booker's one of those guys that I personally will never hate on. I love him. He's just a great guy all around. I love that he got LeBron's last jersey, but Twitter instantly went to, oh my God, this is going to be worth so much money. Trust me when I tell you Devin Booker's not worried about no damn money. But look at this next tweet because this one's funny to me. It says he can get $5 million for that jersey. And thankfully, somebody has some common sense on the bottom and says, Book is going to get like 3 max contracts in his career. He's definitely not worried about the $5 million from a jersey from somebody that he actually must stop it right now. You guys are being silly. But I love the Devin Booker. I know that sounds weird. But if anybody had to get LeBron's last jersey, that wasn't me or his family. I'm cool with it being Devin Booker. Devin, what do you think of this?
Well, I love that he did this, and the fact that it was signed. Yeah, he absolutely knew what was to come, and I think it almost to me symbolizes like a passing of the torch. Like it's not going to happen yet. Like he's not planning on passing the torch to D-Book next season or whatever. But like to me, this kind of shows, all right, I'm giving you this jersey, the last number 23 jersey I'm wearing. It's signed. This league is going to be yours to take when I retire. Don't you agree?
Yeah, I totally felt that moment in time, just the way he walked up to Devin and that hug that he gave him. This was all a, hey, my guy, you're up next. You are the next guy, you know, and it's just a beautiful thing. So like I said, LeBron is very calculated in what he does. You know, looking back on it now, I'm like, oh, damn, that I see this all coming together now. So he's very calculated. I think Devin deserves it. Like I said, if it wasn't me who was going to get that jersey, I would vote for Devin Booker, you know, or Anthony Edwards. But, you know, Anthony got a little ways to go, so he don't get that jersey yet. But Devin gets it right now. So I love this. I love this a lot. But speaking of shirts and things of that nature, you know, I'm just going to own it. I'm going to own it. This shirt that Joker has, as much as I sing his praise now, pretty much everything on this damn shirt is something that I've said about him before. So this is the shirt that he wore in pre-warm-ups yesterday. And this, of course, is after he won the MVP. The first one says out of shape. I've said that. Can't jump. I've said that. He's slow. Definitely said that. I have not said that he's flailing or he's overweight. I said he's very big, but, you know, I haven't said he's overweight. Flopper, poor defender, not an all-star, bad attitude. I don't know how anyone could say that. Slow feet and too skinny. I've never heard anyone say that Joker was too skinny. And it's so skinny you can barely see it. It's over there on the edge. So I'm with this Twitter user who was like, who in the hell said he was too skinny? So the front of this says, "Joke's on you." This is a dope shirt, you guys. He's got the Joker on there, but it's not a real Joker. It's the Joker with the Joker face. This shirt is dope. He definitely had this made. I love this. Like I said, I agree with this user who was like, who's ever called him skinny? Why is skinny on there? And the person on the bottom says, because after he lost weight last year, people said he wasn't going to be big enough to back guys down. No, we didn't. No, we did not. We never said that. He said that he feels more comfortable playing at a heavier weight. But didn't none of us say that, oh, you know, now, because he was still big as hell, even though he had lost weight after he got COVID, he was still big as nobody said that, sir. I appreciate you trying to help her figure that out. But nobody said that. The coolest thing about this, guys, is, you know, these shirts be stupid expensive. Like if this had been Big Barlow brand, this shirt would have been like $78. It is $22.99. Come on, Joker, with the affordable shirt that has all the shade on it. I love this. I had to go find the price because you know I'm right. You know, if this is a Big Baller brand shirt, this would have been $100. Devin, do you not love every piece of this shirt?
I do love every piece of it. And as I was reading the shirt when I was looking over our docket today, I was like, okay, yeah, Jackie did say that. Jackie said that before. I was thinking the same thing. I was like, did they just watch the Fumble and all of Jackie's criticisms of him? He's too slow. He's too big. Like all of the stuff that we've said.
I felt so bad looking at that shirt. I was like, oh damn, I said all of that.
But you know what? I think that it's a good thing you said it. I think that it was, you know, like now he has this opportunity to be like, well, look at me now. Look where I am now.
Right.
People have doubted me. They criticize me. Maybe I'm not the fastest or you know, maybe I can't jump the highest or whatever it is. Mm-hmm. But he still is walking away with MVP.
With that MVP.
So,
yep.
Pretty good.
Yep. So yeah, I look, when I saw that, it was like that Simpsons commercial, or that when he fades into the bushes, because I was like, oh damn, this is all things I've said, except for the too skinny. Never said he was too skinny. So never said that. Somebody in the chat said Big Baller brand is dead, right? Nope. Go look it up. They still out there trying. That's what I'm saying. That shirt would have been $85 at least on Big Baller brand. But let's move. Congratulations, Joker. I love that shirt. I can't say that I'm going to get it, but I'm saying it's a definite maybe, because that's a dope shirt. But we're going to move on to this one, because I got to say, This is I think I said the series would go 6 or 7. I definitely didn't call a winner out of this one because I thought Denver would step up a lot because we're used to seeing them step up a lot. But the Suns won their first game by 17, the second one by 25. If they beat, they're going to the Mile High. Now, if you guys don't know, which I'm sure you do, it's called the Mile High City because it's a mile above sea level. And athletes, I don't feel it because I grew up there, but I can drink more here than I can in Denver. I don't know if that's equated to the altitude, but people say it's hard to breathe there. That's why the Olympians, like gymnasts and track and field, they all kind of train in Denver so they can acclimate their body to the thinner air. But let me tell you right now, if the Suns go to that thin air city and beat Denver in double digits, this chant that they did, absolutely 100% accurate. Take a listen.
Najee at the free throw line. He was the Pac-10 freshman.
I don't know if you could hear it, but they're chanting Suns in 4. So they're chanting a sweep. I saw somebody in the chat say Denver's going to win game 3. They have to, because Denver played well, and I get it because they was getting smashed, but by the middle of the third quarter, they were so defeated. They were just going through the motions. They weren't out there to try to turn things around. They were just going through the motions. So you need to be right, because if they go to the Mile High City and win game 3, y'all don't even need to watch game 4. I'm telling you right now, that one's going to be a wrap. But good luck. This is a great series for Chris. Let's see if it can turn around for Denver. But y'all knew that this next one was going to come up. Devin tagged me and she said, congratulations. If you follow me on Instagram, you saw it all in my Instagram, because my boy won Defensive Player of the Year. And we're just going to take a moment and enjoy his greatness with him and his team. Take a look.
Rudy just won his 3rd Defensive Player of the Year trophy.
3rd!
He's had an amazing year this year. He deserves it. We're going to surprise him in the locker room. He doesn't know about it yet, so.
Look at you. Get the wires.
Yes, sir. Very well deserved. And I'm sure there'll be a couple more by the end of this career of yours. So.
Wouldn't do it without you guys.
We know.
Yes, sir.
And of course, Spider Mitchell comes up and gives him a hug after. So whatever y'all beef think y'all got, y'all still calling him COVID Rudy because y'all just ain't out here being as great as him. And I get it. Sometimes you just got to throw that hate when you not as great. Y'all can use that in the future if you want to. But I love this. Of course, the conspiracy started almost immediately. I think this video was up for like 2 minutes. And it says, rigged. He just blocks shots. I am so sorry. What is defense? Is that not what defense is? Blocking shots? I don't understand. I don't understand this whole thought process. It's silly to me. I'm gonna ask you now. Look, this one's a great point though, and this is what I want to kind of ask you in the chat and Devin about, because this fantastic point, sir, says Utah Jazz stacked. They got a 3-time Defensive Player of the Year, the reigning 6th Man of the Year, and D-Wade 2.0, which is Spider Mitchell. All I know is y'all better win a championship to validate this. That's a good point, right? Because you really do got all these people on your squad. If you go out there and choke, what does that mean? That's my question for you in the chat. Devin, what do you think?
So, okay, I do believe that they do need to make it to the finals. But also, let's not forget who the Nets are and what the Nets look like, you know? So, I don't know. Like, to me, I don't think that it's like a do or die moment for them. Is that what you're saying you think it is?
No, I'm saying that I think we've overlooked that they are stacked, you know, because we're so focused on the Nets being stacked and, you know, who they are with KD, Kyrie, James Harden, and even Blake Griffin. But we're missing that Utah over here with award-winning athletes on their team. Mm-hmm. Like they supposed to go out there. We're supposed to be, I don't want to say the exact, well, maybe, I don't know, but there should be some sort of narrative about what Utah should do with the squad that they have. but there's not. That narrative is 100% on the Nets. We're not talking about Utah like that at all. And that's crazy to me because they've proven that they are a dope squad, but we just don't talk about them like that.
But you know what? I kind of like that. I kind of like that they aren't always in the headlines and they're not under this constant limelight. I think it's because when you look at the personalities on the Utah Jazz, they're not these guys that are kind of like stirring up trouble and say, you know, like when you look at the Nets, Kyrie is always saying something that somebody's going to be mad about, whether they have a reason to or not. James Harden, big personality, had that kind of ugly exit from the Rockets, you know, strip club aficionado. He's a personality to watch. And then there's KD, right. And KD is just always doing whatever he can to kind of clap back at trolls. When we look at the Jazz, the Utah Jazz, we don't have guys that are kind of like getting into trouble as much. The worst thing that happened was over a year ago with the microphone touching incident. That's the worst thing that we ever saw, and that has been so long now. We don't really have a lot of drama surrounding them, so it's easy to just be like, oh yeah, Jazz, whatever. And then you kind of miss those moments where they're actually showing that they're this really, really impressive squad, and we need to be paying attention to them.
Yeah, for sure. Jeremiah is like one of those fans that I be talking about. He said, all Rudy does is block shots. He plays no perimeter defense. He can only guard paint centers, unlike Ben Simmons. Y'all really on this Ben Simmons thing, and y'all really just miss. Y'all need to go check his perimeter block shot stats. I don't know how Ben Simmons is cool, but he's not Rudy Gobert. I'm not saying that Ben Simmons is not cool, but if Ben Simmons had won Defensive Player of the Year, this would have been a different day today. We'd be having a different conversation. And then I'd have to be breaking down line by line. And this whole show would have been while y'all tripping if you named Ben Simmons Defensive Player of the Year. And y'all got mad at me. So just be glad it didn't go that way.
That being said, though, when I looked at the responses to the tweets about Rudy walking away with it,
oh my God, everything went quiet for me. Can you guys hear me? There you are. I was like, girl, I thought Spectrum struck again. I was like, damn it, Spectrum.
I mute myself on here so that I don't have any background noise because sometimes I my mug or my straw touches my mug and it's super loud and I feel bad about that. And then I forget that I'm muted and I'm over here just
It happened like in the middle of your sentence though, so I just knew it was a Spectrum thing. I was like, oh damn, don't panic.
My sentence?
Yeah, you were literally, and then it was like, doo, and I was like, oh damn.
Weird. Okay, that's so weird. I must have done it inadvertently then. I don't even remember what I was saying. Oh, people were pissed about Rudy winning it. For the third time. I looked at all the reactions. They're like, are you serious? People were just not happy about it. People just can't be happy for them.
That's okay. Y'all can be mad, but remember, it causes wrinkles. I'm just saying, when you get about 30 and you look 55, remember all this hate that you got in your heart. That's all I'm saying. All right, let's move to this next one because this one is hilarious to me. This is the thing that I said, hey, we're gonna circle back and see. First of all, the NBA, are y'all going broke? Because these fines that y'all are issuing are just dumb. So Pat Riley, they were talking about, as we were, LeBron is back in this number 6. And of course, reporters are saying, hey, you know what? What does this mean? Does this mean that LeBron is coming back to Miami? First of all, you shouldn't fine me for answering a question. And I answered it lightheartedly. So this is Pat Riley's response. Leo, if you could. So he says, I wish him nothing but the best. And if he ever wanted to come back, then I'll put a new shiny key under the mat. And that's what Pat Riley said on the question of would he return. They fined him $25,000 for saying that. For saying, hey, if he wants to come back, I'll leave. That's like that Motel 6, we'll leave the light on for you. Like, it's just a phrase. It doesn't mean anything. It's definitely not worth a $25,000 fine. This is the dumbest thing ever. But of course, once again, the conspiracy theories, y'all love a good conspiracy theory. Austin says Pat Riley is fined for tampering with LeBron James. LeBron James, his number is back to number 6 the same day. That's why they asked him about it. What? Y'all just be reaching for the sake of reaching. Dwayne Wade had the absolute best response to this. So take a listen to this because he nails this.
Well, Pat Riley got 25,000 in his dress socks. Right. But just, to stay away from the Utah Jazz getting a fine, I would just say that Pat Riley is doing Pat Riley things.
Okay. All right.
Yep. She's like, he's my bestie. That's what Dwayne Wade was basically saying. Like, that's my best friend. I kind of own a piece of Utah. I love how Dwayne Wade played this. And I saw Kevin Pryor in the chat. He says, Riley will easily take that fine if LeBron went back to Miami. He definitely will. I'm a little concerned about what Dwayne Wade said, though, and Pat Riley having $25,000 worth of dress socks. Devin, that dress socks?
Can you explain that? I don't understand. A lot of men love getting these fancy socks.
They do.
Way too much. I don't understand the sock, obsession. I'm not into that.
You know what? I went shopping with a couple exes ago, and we literally spent about 45 minutes in the dress sock aisle. Because he's like, what do you think of these? What do you think of these? I think it's a sock. Pick one and let's go. What are we talking about right now? But you're right. Men love their dress socks. So $25,000, I have better ways you can spend your money than on socks, sir. But that's okay. I'm right here. Yeah. I've been here this whole time. I also wear socks. Don't give me socks. Give me the money you would spend on the socks. That sounds fair. That sounds so fair to me. All right, this next one, I know there's a little bit of a delay, so I'm going to put this first part up, right? Because I just want to play this game, and I want to see how you guys come up with it in the chat. So this person says absurd, and I want you to just tell me, shoot out a number, okay? So Sports Center Instagram coverage this past week. Logan Paul loses exhibition game against Floyd Money Mayweather. How many tweets and posts do you think that Sports Center did about that? Okay, and then Simone Biles wins historic 7th U.S. Gymnastic title. 7th, which is, like I said, historic. So how many do you think she got about that? Devin, I think you know the answer. So do you know the answer?
I do know the answer, so I'm not going to say
anything. So don't say it. I just want to give the chat a little bit of time. Jeremiah, I know you got something to say. Doug, Gary, Kevin, all of y'all in the chat. I wish I had the Jeopardy music, but I'm sure we would get a copyright infringement if we played it anyway. But I just want to give y'all some time in the chat. My Glock said he don't even know. Come on, y'all always got something to say. Who got more tweets or posts or? Okay, so Doug says 1 for Biles. Okay.
Okay. 1 for Biles. How many for Logan?
How many exactly? How many for Logan then? Oh, and 100 for Logan. Okay.
Let's let a couple more answers come in. I'm curious about this.
I'm just curious to see. Okay, so Jeremiah says she got 3. Okay, Jeremiah, then how many for Logan Paul? If you think Simone got 3. Y'all usually be... Oh, my goodness. Okay, that's funny, my God. All right, so no more guesses.
While we're letting these answers roll in, since we were talking about socks, I remember one time I was on a dating app, and a guy started sending me pictures of his sock, shoe, and pant combinations, and I was like, what am I supposed to do with this? What do you want me to say about your socks? I just am not into it at all.
Yeah, not at all. Okay, so everyone says 0 for, I had 1 for Simone and then 0 for Simone. You guys that called 0 for Simone, you guys are actually right. So take a look at this. So Logan actually got 17 posts and Simone got 0. 0. And even if you guys are watching that, okay, somebody said, I don't know, 50 plus for Logan. That not quite that many, but this is just their Instagram too. So their Twitter, they might have had more. And even if you were watching the Nuggets Utah game last night, Marv Albert, what's the swimmer? The Olympic swimmer that won all the Devin, what's his name? Michael Phelps was in the audience. So Marv Albert was like, yeah, the best Olympian athlete ever is here. And then Reggie had to correct him. He goes, actually, that should probably go to Simone Biles, but he's actually very good as well. how this girl out here breaking all these records and y'all don't even give her credit like that. So
Yeah.
this user says that it's because nobody watches gymnastic, and that is not true. Says, I mean, the SportsCenter account is no doubt a dumpster fire, but no one cares about gymnastic. That's not really surprising. It's getting no coverage. And then this person has a valid point. Like, you can't make people care about something if you don't cover it. People will care about stuff that they can see. I've literally watched that stupid shuffle game because it was on. I was like, this is funny as hell. So I watched it. But yeah, it definitely needs more coverage for sure. I think I have another tweet. So this one says, the reply is talking about engagement. And I like what this user had to say, because basically, especially since Simone has been as fantastic as she is, the engagement with gymnastics has gone up. So look at some of the responses to that and what people are saying. They're just kind of all about Simone, which is dope. So I think I have 2 tweets from this. It said, if you told me Simone Biles could walk on water, I would believe you. This is the still shot, but this is this dude watching a video of her on balance beam. So, and then this next one, similar. He says, you will never be as good as anything Simone Biles is at gymnastics. So whatever you're doing, you're not going to be as good as her. And then Simone Biles in extreme slow motion was the bottom one. And there was another video. So obviously she's bringing in the viewership. Obviously her presence is making that sport better because everybody is talking about her. So I hate that Logan Paul gets more attention than Simone Biles. That just bothers me to my core because I can't stand Logan Paul. But Devin, what do you think about the difference in coverage? Do you really think it's just because gymnastic isn't as important, but this is an exhibition game between a YouTube star? How is that more important than this woman out here breaking records?
I mean, speaking from personal experience, gymnastics is my favorite sport to watch in the Olympics. Like, that's the one that I always make sure to tune into. Yeah, I absolutely love it. So for anybody to say people don't care about gymnastics, I think that's like just wildly misinformed. But what I do think it is it just shows how our news cycle relies so much on the most sensational headlines as opposed to what truly matters. And we see that with hard news. We see it with sports news. I mean, everything is about clicks and viewers and subscribers and numbers of comments and all of that. And so they know that Logan Paul is such a controversial figure, and if they post about him 17 times, their engagement is going to go up 300%. Simone Biles, people respect her, they love her, they want to support her, but posting about her, what number title was it again that you said? Her seventh U.S. title. It's not going to stir up controversy. They're not going to have as many people fighting in the comments section about whether or not she deserves it, So it's just, this is a symptom of a sickness that we have as a society as a whole. We need to care about what truly matters and not what's the most enraging topic or whatever it is.
Yeah, and she definitely doesn't trigger people like that. Even when she wore that rhinestone goat on her leotard when she did that, set that record for that vault that she did, nobody had a problem with her doing that. Anybody else put a goat on? Oh, why would you claim that you're the goat? She doesn't trigger anybody. And I think, unfortunately, because she's not triggering like that, because all you can do is look at her and say, yeah, she dope as hell, that there's just no controversy. And that sucks because she's so dope. Just because she's not controversial what should she do? Date? Maybe she should date Jay. Oh, please. Let me take that back. Let me not even put that in the atmosphere. Let me take that back. Let me take it back.
Maybe what she can do is get into a bar fight. One bar fight.
Okay. Yeah.
And then we'll start paying more attention, which sucks that we even have to say
that. Right. But I take back, I didn't even get it all the way out, but the little bit that I got out, I take it back. That is not in the universe. The universe do not do that to us. We don't deserve it. Erase it. Okay. That's all I got for the post up. Now let's move on. I think that's all I got for the post up. Is that all I got for the post up? No, it's not. I have, y'all. Devin talks about this all the time, how moms are so giving and they would just do anything in the world for their children, including hold on to them while they make the most beast mode catch ever. Y'all take a look at this mom and tell me that she's not fired. Take a look.
Oh, you stop it.
Okay, I take back everything I said earlier about the guy with the blood.
That poor baby.
The fact that this did all of this bounces down.
Stop it. That is incredible.
That's crazy. One-handed, no glove. That guy that missed it had a glove. And she's just one-handed with the baby. And y'all can't tell me moms ain't everything. Moms are amazing. That baby's like, okay, mom. Go ahead, Devin.
No, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Finish what you were saying.
No, you're good. The baby's like, Mom, stop bouncing me like that. Like, dude, the poor baby's head, he barely knows how to hold his head up right. And he's like, Mom, stop bouncing.
I'm dying. You're right about that. But you want to know why I think she caught this ball?
Why?
I think it's because as a mom, you see a flying hard object coming towards your baby. You are going to do, that's when your superhuman strength and your cat-like reflexes are coming out because you were protecting that baby no matter what. So that is, I think, exactly what happened here. If that baby wasn't there, maybe she would have missed the ball. But because she knew if she didn't stop this ball from coming, it might hit her cute little baby in the head. She was not going to risk that. So another reason, again, why moms are amazing.
Saving the baby and being a badass at the same time. It's a win-win for mom. Congratulations. That was dope. I love that. Just check the baby head. Make sure you don't have a concussion because you was bouncing him a lot. All right. So now let's move on to what we're not going to do, because we talked about this yesterday, and Devin and I was kind of on the fence. I just didn't know where I would land on this Jay Williams situation. Now, if you recall, Jay Williams said that he saw KD at a party. KD came up to him because on a previous show, Jay Williams had done this comparison between Giannis and KD. KD sees Jay Williams at a party, according to Jay Williams, walks up to him and says, yo, don't ever compare me to Giannis. But he said it in like a way that it was almost like boastful, like that dude is never going to be me kind of thing. KD, as you know, we told you yesterday, he was like, I've never talked to this dude. What he just said was a blatant full out lie, and you keep my name out your mouth. Steven Jackson said something similar, said that KD doesn't even talk like that, and that Jay Williams doesn't even roll in their circles to even be approached like that. He doesn't go to the same parties. He's not in the same circles. So with all that, of course, Jay Williams had to address the situation because it's just been going and going and going. So this is his response. This is like a long thing that he did about the back and forth with Steven Jackson and KD, but I'm just going to give you the crust of what he said in this like 50-second clip. Take a listen.
I stand by my story. I was probably wrong for sharing a personal story, but that's what we do. We share personal stories. But yesterday I sat there. I'm not getting back and forth on social media. I was with my family all day, staying positive. It's all good. And, for us, look, man, it was meant as a compliment. There are levels to this. It was about, saying, hey, how different KD is. It's unfortunate that KD felt that way at that moment. But I wish KD nothing but love and all the best success. I hope they win a championship. We talk about them every single day. Shoot, the other day I was talking about him being the best player in the world. So that's all I got to say about that. We're moving on. Kia and I are talking about sports the way we typically talk about sports. And that's the end of that, in my opinion. We rock out and we talk about games moving forward. Now, there's some other people that made some other comments that I might address later on, but we'll save that for another day.
Okay, so there's a couple of things in his statement that, again, I'm still on the fence. But first of all, he said that he reached out to KD's people. Okay, so he didn't reach out to KD, which means you guys don't talk like that. So that's number one. You probably got his representative, his agent, something like that, maybe his PR person, and you reached out to them because you don't have direct contact with KD. For KD to kind of make that inflammatory comment, that means there's a level of trust between the two of you, because let's just be real, you don't really say stuff that's inflammatory to some just no-name guy that you casually know, like no more than just say, what's up, man, how you doing? So if your story it was 100% true, I think you would have had direct contact to KD. He didn't say, I tried to reach out to KD, but he didn't respond to me, so then I reached out to his people. That's not what he said. He said, I reached out to KD's people. He doesn't say what they said to him. He doesn't say, I reached out to them. They said, KD feels like this. And I said, he just says, I reached out to KD's people, and there's a period at the end of that sentence. He doesn't say anything else. He also says, in more of the clip, he says, hey, Steven Jackson says I don't go to these same circles, and I don't roll in the same circles as Steven Jackson. Okay, well, thereby consequently, doesn't that mean you don't roll in the same circles as KD? All right, but let me give you the benefit of the doubt. Let me give you the benefit of the doubt and say that you are right and that KD said this to you. Based on what we know about KD, what Steven Jackson says about KD, there is a possibility that this conversation happened, but in an entirely different context. As a person who edits, let me tell you something right now. You can get a full minute clip of somebody saying, you know, the sky is blue and it's such a beautiful day outside. I just can't believe that I don't get to go outside. You can edit that to say, I can't believe that I don't get to go outside, and make it sound like they got them locked away. You can change the narrative, but still use the exact words that person said. That's kind of what I feel like happened here. I feel Jay Williams was going on and he was comparing KD to Giannis. And then KD caught him at this party and said, yo, don't do that. Don't compare me to people like that. I hate that. We're two different players. Talk about Giannis. Talk about myself. Talk about whoever you want to talk about. But don't compare me to anybody. I'm my own person. Because now that lines up to what we've seen KD say on social media. I'm me. I'm doing what I do. I don't compare myself to anybody else. It also lines up with the tweet that he sent back to Jay Williams. Like, this whole legacy thing that y'all do, that's y'all. I'm doing me. So it could have happened. It could have been KD came up to him and said, hey, keep my name out your mouth. Don't compare me to other people. And then Jay Williams uses it to say, oh, yeah, KD said he don't like when people compare him to Giannis, and makes it like a more braggadocious kind of thing. It literally could be exactly what it can be both. This could have actually happened, but Jay Williams is still lying because KD did not say it that way. Now, he goes on later, and if you guys want to watch the whole interview, or the whole thing, it's on YouTube. And he's talking about the Steven Jackson thing. His beef with Steven Jackson is because Steven Jackson says they don't roll in the same circles. And he admits that they don't roll in the same circles, but which again takes me back to that whole, how in the hell you get this comment if we don't even roll in the same circles? You know what I mean? So I feel like at the end of the day, the conversation happened. Jay Williams took it out of context, and he placed it in a context that helps his narrative, so we can do exactly what we're doing right now and talk about Jay Williams. And that's not right. That's the wrong way to go. So what we're not going to do is switch up people's work. Because you can't, I mean, it happens in media all the time. I don't want to make it seem like Jay Williams is the first person to do this. It happens. Fox News exists. You know, it happens all the time. But it shouldn't. And he's absolutely right when he says, I was wrong to take that conversation public, especially when you took it out of context. That's what I personally believe happened. But Devin, what do you think happened in this situation? Because I saw Kevin Lang in the chat, and he brought up a good point too. Even when he's telling this story, he's not like, he's kind of looking down at his mic, and, you know, he's not making eye contact. He's kind of that I'm guilty posture. So what do you think happened in this situation?
Okay, so you guys know yesterday I said that I believe this conversation did happen and KD just didn't want it to be public. And I still stand by that. I think some semblance of this conversation went down. I don't think that Jay Williams pulled this out of thin air, made it up, went on to a, you know, nationally televised show and, you know, made this whole thing up and just knew that KD could come from for it. But I do think that the theory you have about this conversation happening in a kind of different way makes a lot of sense. Like, I can definitely see KD coming up and saying, don't compare me to anybody. Don't compare me to Giannis. Don't compare me to anybody. I'm my own person. That does actually, and I didn't think about that before. So now that you say that, I feel like that's probably what happened. Jay definitely took liberties with that conversation, knowing that it would get him a lot of views, a lot of clicks, and probably clapback from KD. So he kind of knew what was going to happen when he took this conversation that was private and personal and kind of twisted it in a way to create this whole new narrative. So, but you know what? Literally, I think everybody does that. I think all of these sports commentators and reporters and hosts, they all do that. Everything is about the gossip. Everything is about having the inside scoop. So I'm not surprised, and I'm not even mad at him for it. Like, do what you got to do. You know, it's going to get you the clicks. That's what you need to keep your job and have that job security. Fine. Yeah.
But that's all I got for what we're not going to do. And, you know, Jay, congratulations. This is the most I've talked about you in my entire sports life. So well done, sir.
He was successful. Nice work,
He was
Jay.
successful.
All right, you guys, we are going to be back tomorrow with Fan or Faux Friday. So if you're watching this after we've already gone live, go ahead and leave us your comments, questions, and clapbacks in the comment section below. And if they're good enough, we will screenshot them and address them at the end of our show tomorrow. We're going live at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. So don't forget to subscribe, tap the bell, leave a comment below, share this video with your friends, and we'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a great Thursday. Bye.
Bye.